I had always considered myself a patient and understanding husband, but nothing could have prepared me for that night. It was a dinner party hosted by some of my wife's colleagues, an elegant affair at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city. I dressed sharply, smiling through polite conversations, trying to blend into a room where I knew hardly anyone. My wife, Sarah, had insisted I come along, claiming it was just a casual dinner. Yet, as soon as we arrived, I noticed the glances, some approving, some mocking, but I brushed it off, telling myself I was overthinking. The evening started normally enough. Small talk, wine poured generously, laughter echoing in the softly lit room. But gradually, Sarah began to shift her attention toward another man, a man she introduced as Mark, a new project manager at her office. At first, I assumed it was innocent. They were colleagues, after all. But the way she laughed at his jokes, leaned in closer than necessary, and touched his arm lightly, every gesture screamed betrayal in a language I suddenly understood. I tried to stay composed, offering polite smiles, but my stomach twisted as she began speaking louder, clearly trying to make me the punchline of the night. "Oh, Tom's sense of humor is, well, let's just say it's unique," she said, tilting her head and laughing in a way that made the whole table join in. I felt my face burn, my pride dissolving with every chuckle. I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came. I was paralyzed by a mix of humiliation and disbelief. My own wife was mocking me in front of strangers, using my presence as a prop for her performance. I considered leaving right then, but something kept me rooted, maybe hope, maybe denial. I stayed through the dinner, swallowing my anger, nodding at jokes that were clearly at my expense, smiling when I wanted to scream. I watched her whisper to Mark, their heads so close together it looked intimate, and I felt an icy weight settle in my chest. Every laugh, every touch, every glance, she was flaunting something I couldn't yet define, but I feared I already knew. Finally, the evening came to a close. I stayed silent in the car, gripping the steering wheel as we drove home, my mind spinning. I didn't speak until she suggested we stop for dessert. That was when I noticed her phone buzzing incessantly, but she ignored it, giggling at something on Mark's screen. My patience snapped. "Sarah," I said calmly, forcing myself to keep my voice steady, "who is that?" She glanced at me, smirked, and said, "Just a friend. Don't overthink it." Her tone was dismissive, almost teasing, like I was the fool for caring. I clenched my jaw, realizing that her words were a shield for something far more sinister. Hours passed after we returned home. I barely slept, haunted by the memory of her laughter, her mockery, the way she had treated me as invisible. I tried to convince myself I had misread things, maybe it was innocent, maybe I was paranoid. But deep down, I knew better. Then, my phone rang. An unknown number flashed on the screen. Reluctantly, I answered. "Hello?" I said. "Tom? Is this Tom?" The voice on the other end was soft but urgent. "Yes, who's this?" "This is Claire." "Claire, Mark's wife." My stomach dropped. I gripped the phone tighter, my knuckles whitening. "Claire, what is this about?" I asked cautiously. "I don't even know where to start," she said, voice trembling. "I saw the messages, Tom. The texts, the late-night calls. I tried confronting him, but he lied. And now I think you should know. I think you deserve to know." I felt a surge of adrenaline, anger, and validation all at once. The humiliation of the dinner party was nothing compared to the confirmation I was about to receive. "Claire, what are you saying?" I asked, my voice low. She took a deep breath. "Mark, he's been seeing Sarah." "You're Sarah." I can't believe it myself, but I saw the messages today. "I think you need to see them." I barely heard her over the pounding of my heart. All the doubts, the sleepless night, the laughter at the dinner party, it all clicked into place. Sarah hadn't just humiliated me publicly, she had been having an affair right under my nose. Can you show me?" I asked, though my hands were shaking. There was a pause. "I'll forward you the screenshots. You'll see the texts, the plans, everything." "I'm so sorry, Tom. I never wanted to drag you into this, but you deserve the truth." Within minutes, my phone buzzed with a series of screenshots. I opened them, my vision blurring as the reality hit. Late-night messages, flirtatious comments, and plans to meet Sarah and Mark were entangled in a web of lies. The anger that surged through me was like fire, and yet, beneath it, there was a strange sense of clarity. The shame, the humiliation, it wasn't mine to carry. It was hers. I sat there for hours, scrolling through the messages, letting every word etch itself into memory. By the time the sun rose, I had made a decision. I would not confront her immediately. Not with shouting, not with begging. I would let the truth stand on its own, let her actions speak louder than my words. When she woke that morning, cheerful and unsuspecting, I met her gaze. For the first time, I didn't feel hurt. I felt resolved. "Sarah," I said softly, almost casually, "we need to talk." She froze, sensing something different in my tone. For a moment, there was hesitation, then a faint smile of arrogance. "What about?" she asked, feigning innocence. "The messages," I said, holding up my phone. The screenshots from Claire were displayed clearly on the screen. "I think you'll find this enlightening." Her face went pale. I watched her carefully, the arrogance draining, replaced by panic. For once, she had no words. For once, I had the upper hand. Claire had done what I couldn't do in that moment. She gave me the leverage, the proof, the confirmation that what I suspected all along was true. My humiliation had turned into power. Sarah's secret was no longer hers to hide, and I finally felt free. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply watched as the reality sank in for her, letting the consequences of her betrayal unfold naturally. Hours of public mockery, whispered lies, and late-night secrets had finally caught up with her, and I was ready to step away with my dignity intact. That dinner party, which had seemed like a nightmare, became the catalyst for the truth. And when Claire called me that night, she didn't just expose the affair, she gave me a gift far greater than revenge, the clarity to reclaim my life.